Welcome to TFL your number one resource for preparing for the TFL Topographical Route Planning Assessment. If you are looking to become a PHV driver in London, passing the TFL Topographical test is a must. This exam ensures that all the PHV drivers have the skills to navigate London's complex road network efficiently. In today's video, we will walk you through a mock exam, just like the one you will face in your official assessment. This is your chance to understand the exam format, to test your skills, and improve your chances of passing on your first attempt. So let's get started. Before we dive into the mock exam, let's first understand the exam format so you know exactly what to expect on the day. The TFL Topographical Assessment is a 90 minutes test with a total of 25 questions. These questions are divided into two main sections. There will be 4 topographical route planning questions and 21 multiple choice questions. First, let's take a look at topographical route planning questions. In this section, you will be given a start and end location on a map, and you will need to find the most efficient route. The 4 topographical route planning questions comes from city routes, tunnels, or closed roads. Each of these questions carry either 15 or 20 marks. So the total marks for this section out of 100 are 75. Now let's discuss multiple choice questions. These MCQs test your understanding of map reading, compass directions, and location identification. As I previously mentioned that there will be 21 MCQs in this section. Among these 21 MCQs, there will be 4 compass-based questions, and each compass-based questions carry exactly 2 marks, whereas there will also be 17 AZ map-based questions, and each of them carry exactly 1 marks. It is also important to remember that every person who is taking TFL Topographical Assessment needs at least 60 out of 100 to pass successfully. The goal of this test is to ensure that PHV drivers can navigate London efficiently and professionally without relying solely on GPS. Now that you understand the format, let's jump into a mock test walkthrough so you can experience what it's like. The first question in our mock exam is a topographical route planning question. On the left-hand side, we have the instructions. Plot a direct route from Station Approach Road, which is our green marker right here, to Blackmore Drive, which is our red marker. Let's solve it together. In topographical route planning questions, the first thing we should do is to draw a straight line from our green marker to our red marker. Drawing this straight line helps us navigate and plan a route in our mind before drawing the actual route. So let's plan it together. If we start from Station Approach Road, which is a two-way street, we can use the station road and then find our way on this road. Similarly, we can carry on these streets and then finally get onto this expressway. Finally, here we will have to make a choice, careful choice, that either we should use this slip road to come here because it is very close to our destination. But looking at this area, it looks like Blackmore Drive is not connected with this expressway. So there is no point in taking a turn right here, and we should go straight on Point Place, then use these roundabouts on Magenta Way to come back on Blackmore Drive. Now that we have planned our route, let's draw it. The first thing we should do is always keep left. It is a very important rule to keep left. If we do not keep left and draw the line on right hand side, then we will get 0 marks. Also, you could ask that I could directly go on using this path, but as you can see, this is a dead end. That's why we will continue straight here, and from here we can take a turn. Another important thing to remember is to never touch the boundary line. It is also equally important role. There are few things which can make or break your question. For instance, that your starting point and your ending point should always be connected. You should never draw on right side of the road, and you should also never touch the boundary line. Now here we are crossing a railway line. As we had decided that we will take this street, so we just cross the road and keeping left because it is a two-way street. You can zoom in or zoom out at any point to see your progress. So to avoid touching the boundary line, you can draw on the base of the letters or on top of the letters so that you have a healthy distance between your boundary line and the middle of the road. We should also keep in account that maps are there to actually help us. If you understand what any of the symbols on the map means, then it can be a very easy exam for you to pass. Now we are on a roundabout. Let's cross it and then cross these railway lines which are above us. Navigate ourselves from this second roundabout to come on Blackmore Drive and then finally arriving at our destination. When you have completed your drawing and reviewed everything, we should not forget to press the stop drawing button. And our first question is completed. Let's move on to second topographical question in our mock test. Again, on the left hand side, we have the instructions to draw a direct route from Armory Way, which is our green marker, to Spencer Park, which is our red marker. We have also given an additional instruction that Fairfield Street is closed. So here it is very prominent, but sometimes you might have to take a look where exactly that street or road is which is closed. In our sake of this question, Fairfield Street is not usable. We cannot use this section, the whole of Fairfield Street. Let's draw it. Again, the first thing we will do is to draw the straight line. Drawing a straight line, and especially in cases when there's an additional instruction, helps you a lot. So as soon as we draw the straight line, we can see that we have found this street which is closed. Any street starts from where the alphabet or the name of the road begins and wherever it ends. So in our case, it is this section of the road which we cannot use. All right, now let's plan our route. So as Armory Way is a one-way street, so we can go straight forward and use this street to get onto this expressway. From here, we can use this slip road to come on East Hill Street, use this one-way road to get onto this side of the expressway, and finally arrive at Spencer Park. When your planning is completed, you should remove all these lines and start drawing the actual route. As always, we start from our green marker. When we have one-way roads, we can draw in the middle of the road. Now here, we will continue our journey. Since this is a two-way street, so we should immediately head left. And keep on our side of the road. This is a railway line that we are crossing. Since railway lines are either above us or below us, that's why we do not need to worry about it. Here we are crossing a roundabout. Again, it is very important not to touch the boundary lines. This is exactly the same railway line which we had just crossed. Now here we do not need to continue on this road, we can take this slip road. This is again a one-way street, so we can cross it and then enter into this one-way street. Now this section of the road is two-way, so we will first keep left and then very carefully make our way towards Spencer Park. Arriving at our red marker, we should connect it, review our route, make sure that all the additional instructions are also fully met. We have not used any part of Fairfield Street. Our question is complete. So press the stop drawing button and move on to the next question. Now, if you are feeling a bit overwhelmed, don't worry. Many learners struggle at first because there are so many factors to consider. Road names, compass directions, landmarks, shortest possible routes, and all of the different symbols on the map. So how do you keep track of everything? Let me make it simple for you. The key is to study and learn the rules. This is something that we can teach you in our training. Here is a quick reference list of all the key rules that you need to remember when solving route planning questions. But here's the thing. Memorizing rules is one part of the process, but practicing it with an expert is what truly helps students pass on their first attempt. At SERUpractice.com, our one-on-one training gives you personalized guidance to clear up any confusion, real-time feedback on your mistakes and how to fix them, and exclusive exam strategies to boost your confidence. That's why so many of our students pass their TFL assessment on the first try. If you are serious about getting your PHV badge, our expert trainers are here to help you succeed. We also provide services in multiple languages. Now let's move on to the third topographical question. Plan a direct route from Prospect Place to Catherine Close. Again, we have additional instruction that Glamis Road is closed from the junction of Pear Tree Lane and highway. So first of all, we need to consider the fact that in this question, by drawing a straight line from our green marker to red marker, you would immediately know that we need to cross the river. There are two solutions for crossing the river. One is bridge and the other one is tunnel. Since in this question, it is very obvious that we can use the Rotherhithe Tunnel to pass the river, so we will use this. Also, since we have additional instruction that Glamis Road is closed, we also need to find where Glamis Road is. So, in our case, we might need to browse a little bit and finally find the Glamis Road. From Pear Tree Lane to the highway, this section of the road is closed. All right, so what do we need to do? We need to find our way to the highway so that we can use the tunnel approach road from Butcher Road to enter Rotherhithe Tunnel, get onto the other side of the tunnel approach road, and then finally exit to arrive at our destination. Let's draw it. So the first thing we will do here is, as always, take left. Excuse me. All right. Keep left, get onto the street so that we can make our way up to the highway using Garnet Street. Imagine if alongside Glamis Street, Garnet Street was also closed, then that means we could not use this street as well and we would have to find an alternative. Now that we are on the highway, again, just to remind that we can draw on top of the letters to avoid getting into the middle of the road like this or touching the boundary line. Now, this is the symbol for tunnels. And currently, tunnel is beneath us as expected, and we are on the highway, so we will continue in the direction of the highway. Now arriving at Butcher Road. Here I would also like to imply something. Let me take it back. And as you can see that I have several times already mentioned that we cannot touch the boundary of the road. It will result in 0 marks, but only the boundary of the road on which we are. So for example, right now we are drawing on the highway and you can see that this right here is the boundary of our highway which we have to respect. We cannot touch it. But the other line, like these lines, these are the boundary of the tunnel. So even if you cross them, that is okay. Continuing on Butcher Road, finally getting onto this expressway, we can take a turn here and go to the tunnel approach road. Any tunnel in London City which has a tunnel approach road, you must use that tunnel approach road to get inside the tunnel. And these are again the things which we teach our students in one-on-one training programs so that they can go to the exam with confidence, knowing all the important things and strategies. Sorry. Okay, now we are inside the tunnel. Continuing on left hand side, once inside the tunnel is also exactly just like any other highway. So if it is a two-way, you should keep left. If it is a one-way, you can draw in the middle. Drawing these lines carefully and consciously makes sure that you do not lose any marks. Now we have exited the tunnel and came onto the tunnel approach road of the other side of Rotherhithe Tunnel. From here, we will take an exit on this roundabout, navigate our way to get onto this road. Drawing the line in some cases or to some extent is exactly like how you drive your car. So for example, when the road is straight, you can draw longer lines. But when the road has curves, you should draw smaller lines to replicate the shape of the road, just like the driving on the car. So here again, we are on this road and this tunnel is below us, beneath us. So we will continue traveling on this road, drawing the line using this exit to get onto Catherine Close, which is our destination. Once connected with our red marker, review everything, and if you are happy with the work you've done, press the stop drawing button. Let's move on to the fourth topographical route planning question. The instruction says that plot a direct route from Baker Street, which is our green marker, to Cawley Hill, which is our red marker. Now for this example, again, we will do the first thing as always is to draw a straight line from our green marker to our red marker, and then we should plan our route ahead of actual drawing. So as you can see that we are starting from here, the Baker Street, and it is a two-way street. It is going in this direction to connect with this expressway, which we can use to come on this expressway. From here, we can use this point, arrive here using this expressway to come onto this road and then connect to our destination. Let's draw. Keeping left because it is a two-way street. Taking turn. At any point, we should always consider this blue line just like we are driving our car on the road. We should keep our own side of the traffic and we should not be violating any rules such as driving on the left side or touching the boundary lines or any other thing such as closed roads or one-way roads or roundabouts. We should follow the convention which is allowed. So here we need to just cross straight on this roundabout. You can really take advantage of zooming in and zooming out to increase your speed of drawing, because for 4 topographical assessment questions, you should not be spending more than 40 minutes on these questions, so that you can spend at least 20 minutes on remaining 21 MCQs questions. Although those questions are much easier and they carry way little weightage as compared to topographical questions, but still it is important that you solve all the questions. And to improve your topographical route planning ability to draw quickly and solve all the questions in time, you should practice by taking one-on-one training courses. So here you can see that this road is connected with this expressway. It is not an obstruction of some sort. We can easily navigate our way towards inside and go in this direction. Of course, in a situation like this small thin line in the middle of the road, which is central reservation, it stops us from crossing it and going in other direction. We cannot do that. And this right here is a footbridge. Footbridges are mostly on expressways because these are big roads, wide roads, and pedestrian might want to cross them. So there are footbridges installed overhead above us, so we can just navigate our way like this. Since it is a road which has central reservation, so you can treat it as an unmarked one way, and you can draw in the middle because there's already lesser area as compared to a two-way street. So you just need to be careful in terms of avoiding this boundary line and also central reservation. We should not touch any of these sides and continue drawing like this. Another important thing is that although there are alphabets, the name of the road written here, and the lines are not crossing them, but it does not mean the central reservation is here but not here. It is continuous, and you cannot cross it and take a turn like this at any point. Unless and until there is absolutely nothing between these two lines, only then it is to be said that central reservation is not there. So arriving at this point, of course, as I told you before, that at any point, if you feel overwhelmed or lost, what we can do is that we can just directly click at our red marker, draw the line so that it gives us a sense that where we started from and where we have arrived and how to find our way from where we are standing right now to our destination. So we do not want to continue our journey on this expressway, and we should use this area to get out. Okay, let's remove the last drawn line for reference and continue our journey on this section of the road. So here you can see that this is a roundabout, and we should definitely consider it one, and we should go around it in the conventional way. Now, this is a one-way road. I can draw in the middle on a one-way road. This is again a small section of central reservation to keep both sides separated. And we will continue drawing on our side of the road. Now again, arriving here, these are two roundabouts, so we should go around them in exactly the same motion. Here, can you make a guess? What exactly is it that we are crossing? Yes, you're right. It is a footpath. So just like actually opposite to the footbridges, footbridges are always overhead and footpaths are mostly underground. They connect pedestrians to different subways and other places. Now that we have arrived at this roundabout, you can see that we are navigating in the direction of our destination, which is on Cowley Hill Road. Crossing this roundabout, getting onto this road, which is two-way, so we will keep left. It is very important to keep left. That's why I am trying to put more and more emphasis on this rule, because sometimes it can be an honest mistake that you would be drawing a perfect route, but somewhere you would be on the right side of the track, not left, and because of that, you will lose all your marks. So here you can see that we have arrived at our destination. And what is the last step? Yes, you guessed it correct. When we are happy with our route, we should press the stop drawing button before moving on to the next question. We have now completed the topographical route planning questions, where you learned how to find the most efficient routes using a map. Now let's move on to the multiple choice questions. As I previously mentioned, multiple choice questions comprised of 4 compass-based questions and 17 AZ map-based questions. These questions are designed to ensure that you have a strong grasp on navigation, which is essential for being a professional PHV driver in London. Let's go ahead and tackle these MCQs together. The compass-based questions are rather easy. They basically comprise of the concepts about compass points, compass directions, directions at junctions, and navigating through junctions. So as you already know, the basic purpose of the compass is to exhibit directions. And in a compass, the upward is always north. That means on its right side is east, downwards is south, and on the left-hand side is west. If we continue with this concept, it means that this is north. If this is east, then this is northeast. Similarly, in between east and south, we have southeast. In between west and south, we have southwest. And in between north and west, we have northwest. Now we will use this concept to solve compass-based questions. Now let's take a look at first compass-based question. What is the name of compass point 3? So all of these compass points are marked as numbers, and we have to find the name for this compass point. In the previous slide, when I showed you the compass, we deduced that the upward is always north. So compass point 1 is north, and essentially on its right-hand side is east. This is also the point in which we are interested. So the correct option here is east. The next question is also very similar. Using the diagram, answer the following question. So this is the diagram we have been given, and this is the question. Which direction would you travel from A to B? So as you can see that in case of traveling from A to B, we will be traveling in the direction of east. So the correct option here is also east. Now this question is an example of directions at junctions. Using the diagram, answer the following question. This is the diagram and this is the question. You start at junction 11. So all of these circular boxes with numbers in them are junctions, and we are to start from junction 11 and travel 2 streets north, 1 street east, 1 street south, 2 streets west, and then you travel 1 street north. What junction number are you at now? So questions like these are meant to confuse the candidate, but these questions are just as simple and easy as the previous example. Let's break it down. So currently we are standing at junction 11, and we had assumed that taking it like a compass, every time the upward direction is north. If we know one direction, that means we also know all of the remaining 3 directions. And let's divide this question into subparts. So starting from junction 11 and travel 2 streets north. So this is north and upwards. So basically I am starting from this point, and after taking 2 norths up, I have arrived at junction 3. Now it wants me to move 1 street east. So that will be arriving at junction 4. And then 1 street south. That means I will be coming back down to junction 8. Now 2 streets west, and we arrive at junction 6. And finally, then you travel 1 street north, which is again up. So we have now arrived at junction 2. What junction number are you at now? The correct option is 2. Now this question is a compass-based question and an example of navigating junctions. Using the diagram, answer the following questions. This is the diagram. Select the junction number that you pass through on the most direct route between junction 15 and junction 1. Go to the correct way along one-way streets and avoid blocked roads. So you can see that things like this are to be considered blocked roads, and red arrows, of course, exhibit one-way roads. Now, if we are standing at junction 15 and we have to come to junction 1. Here you can see that if I go straight up from this direction, I will have to face the opposition of moving into a one-way road. And we also have these sequences, so we have to make sure that at least one of our planned travel from junction 15 to junction 1 meets the sequence which is given in these options. Now, if we take a look at the first option, it looks very promisable. So, starting from 15, we arrive at junction 14, and then going all the way up in the direction of north so that we can arrive at junction 1, we will be crossing junction 14, 11, 8, 5, 2, and finally 1. So the first option is correct. Now let's move to the AZ book map-based questions. These MCQs will test your ability to read maps, remember important places, and their reference numbers. AZ map-based questions consist of page numbers and grid references of streets, directions, points of interest, motorways, and counties near London. Let's take a look at first AZ map-based question. What is the grid reference and page number of Abbeville MSW4? For these type of questions, we can take help from our AZ map contents. The key to map pages provides us with a map overview. The map pages lies in the book pages 2 to 211, and the index pages which help us to find the map are at the end of the book or towards the end of the book on page 246 to 431. So in this example, we will first take the help of the index. Here for our question, we can see that Abbeville MSW4 is 56 MB112. Make sure that you take into account everything in the index pages and be sure looking at the exact location and its index and the page number. So in this case, 112 is the page number, and we will select the right option with the help of index book. So here our correct option is 56 MB112. Make sure to check your answers as well, because sometimes they give us very similar answers, and in situation of rush, we might end up selecting the wrong answer. So always be very keen on choosing the correct answer. Now let's move on to the next example. Here we have another similar question. What is the grid reference and page number of Ecker Road RM10 DAC? So for this question as well, you can use the same technique. Go towards the end of the book on the index pages and find Ecker Road RM10 DAC. The number written in front of it will give you the grid reference and page number, which in this case is 38DT76. Next, we have another similar questions. What is the grid reference and page number of Cobham Road N22? So again, with the help of index, we can find the grid reference and page number, which is 27RB51. Now, sometimes you will see question like this. What is the grid reference and page number of Two Temple Place? So, Two Temple Place is the name of a place, and in this case, the name of the street, which is Two Temple Place, is not starting with an alphabet, but rather starting with a digit. In this case as well, the technique is same, just that instead of looking at the alphabets, we have been given this area to exhibit all the streets whose names are starting with numbers. And here the first one is Two Temple Place, and this is its grid reference and also the page number. So here the correct option is the first one, 4K22345QB90. Now the next question is an example of a question about a point of interest in London City. What is the grid reference and page number of Abbey Sports Centre, Barking? Again, to solve the question, the technique is same. We go towards the end of the book, towards the index, and find this point of interest. The point of interest are always in red color. So we can see it here, AB Sports Center parking, and this is the grid reference and the page number. So in this case, our correct option is 39SC74. 39SC is the grid reference and 74 is the page number on AC book. Let's take a look at next question. What is the grid reference and page number of Dorfman Theatre? So I expect you already know the trick how to find the grid reference and page number for Dorfman Theatre, which is going to be this one right here, 6K223 46QB90, which is the correct option. Now this next question is about finding our railway station. What is the grid reference and page number of Abbey Road Station DLR? Again, to find the grid reference and page number of any place, we can take help of the index pages. And here the stations are in blue color, just like as I previously mentioned, that point of interest are in red color and stations are in blue color. So here we can see that Abbey Road Station DLR is at this grid reference and this page number. Now let's go and select the correct option. So here the correct option is 40GC and page number is 73. Next we have what is the grid reference and page number of Bethnal Green Station Overground. And again, using the same technique, we can find the grid reference, which is 42XP, and the page number, which is 91. Moving on to the next question, what is the grid reference and page number of Drayton Green Station Rail? And the grid reference for this station is 44HA and the page number is 86. Our next question is an example of direction to places. From central London, which direction is Abbey Wood? So to find the direction of Abbey Wood from central London, we can again take help of index pages. Let me show you how. So here you can see that Abbey Wood, it has grid reference of 49YC and the page number is 95. On the map, here you can see this big red block, which is central London. And if you recall that the page for Abbey Wood is 95. And from our previous concept of compass-based questions, we know that if this is the center point of the compass, then upward is north and towards its right-hand side is east. So the answer that from central London, which direction is Abbey Wood, then the answer is east. So here, let's choose the correct option. Now, this question is an example of direction to point of interest. What is the nearest station to Acton Swimming Baths? For the nearest point of interest, again, we will take the help of index pages and map pages. Here in the index pages, we can see Acton Swimming Baths, and here its grid reference and page number are given. So this is the map of Acton, and we are relatively interested in this area. And although this area has a lot of railway stations, but it makes sense to choose the correct option to be Acton Central Railway Station. So let's come here and choose the correct option, which should be Acton Central. Our next question is about motorways. Which motorways cross the M25? So again, to solve this kind of questions, we will take the help of the map. And here you can see that, as I previously mentioned, this is the central London, and then there is a network of motorways all around the London city. Of course, this M25 is the ring road which connects with all of the other motorways at some point, and also with the expressways to get inside the city. So here we can see that M25 is conjuncturing with a lot of motorways. Some of them are crossing it, some of them are barely touching it and connecting with it. So it is far more difficult to find all of these points while solving the exam question. Instead of that, we should just remember which of the motorways crosses M25s. Here is the list of all the motorways which are crossing M25. It includes M1, M11, M23, M3, M4, and M40. So according to that list, we will select all of the options which are correct. M4, M23, and M1 crosses the ring road or M25 motorway. The next question is, which motorway would you use from London to Lightwater? To find out the correct option, the first thing we will do is to find the page number for Lightwater using index page. Here we can see that Lightwater is with a grid reference of 2A and page 166. If we go on and take a look at the map, this is 166. And if you zoom in, you can see that although there is a ring road and there is a chain of motorways, but for Lightwater, M3 is the perfect getaway. So M3 is the correct option. Selecting the correct option, M3. Our next question is, which junction on the M25 is nearest to Leatherhead? So first of all, we need to find the page number for Leatherhead. According to the index pages of AZ book, Leatherhead has a grid reference of 94 KA and page number 192. Let's take a look at what it looks like on the map page. So on the map page, this right here is 192, which is the page number for Leatherhead. And since we were asked which junction is closest, so here you can see the junctions are normally red colored round boxes with numbers on them, and we can see that junction 9 really touches Leatherhead. So our correct option is junction 9. Selecting the correct option and moving on to the next question. Which pages will you use to plan the most direct route to get from junction 2 of the M20 and Clackett Lane services on M25? So this question is basically an example of planning motorway routes to services, and to solve these kind of questions, again, you can take help of AZ map books, of index pages and key to map pages. Service areas are found on index pages in capital letters and in black color. So right here we can see it, Clackett Lane service area, its grid reference is 98 NC and the page number is 200. So now let's move on to the map. So now that we know the page number of Clackett Lane service, we need to start from junction 2 and plan our route towards Clackett Lane service using M25. Here, we will be starting from junction 2. So, using this motorway, we will be crossing 185, 184, 183, 202, 201, and finally arriving at 200. So in this case, our correct option is 185, 184, 183, 182, 202, 201, and 200 to start from junction 2 and arriving at Clackett Lane service. Now the next example is of counties surrounding London. So which of these counties are surrounding London and how you can find it using map page. So if you see that all across London, we have some counties which are surrounding the city. So you can see the name Buckinghamshire, Fortshire, Kent, and all Essex and all of the other counties which are surrounding the London city. It is better to just remember the list of the counties which are surrounding London city. So here we have a list of all the counties that are surrounding London. Now with the help of this list, it is easy to remember which of the counties are surrounding London and we can choose the correct options. So the correct options here are Buckinghamshire, Surrey and Kent. Now, the next question is, which county is further from London? So this one is comparatively easier to suggest or choose the correct option because this must be one of the counties which is not in the surrounding of the London city. And in this case, this one is the correct option. Now that's a wrap on today's topographical route planning mock exam. I hope this walkthrough helped you understand the exam format, the type of questions, and the key rules you need to remember. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like this video and support our channel. Subscribe for more PHP test prep content. Visit serupractice.com for mock exams, expert tips, and one-on-one training. Passing the TFL topographical assessment is a big step towards becoming a licensed PHV driver in London, and we are here to help you every step of the way. If you have any questions or need extra help, drop a comment below or check out our training programs at serupractice.com. You can also send us a message on WhatsApp using this number on your screen, or you can also call us on 0239657202. You can also visit our website www.serupractice.com. And I will see you in the next one.